For individuals that are out there, you know, there's a blog that I just recently wrote, and we were talking about hope and sensitivity, and somebody made a comment to me, and I'll share it with you. They're like, you know what, there's been a point in my life where I gave up. I felt like I did not matter, and that broke my heart. Do you see that with people that are you know, patients that are in the home health field, where they feel like they've been forgotten, they feel like they do not matter?
Sure. I'd like to address it in a couple of ways.
Okay.
One is personal. My dad. My mom was my dad's caregiver. My parents lived in New York. We were in Florida. We thought my mom was the healthy one.
Yes.
She was my dad's caregiver until my dad calls one night crying because his wife of 47 years had passed away from a massive heart attack at only 66 years old, 2 years into retirement.
Yes.
And then
so he lost everything at that very moment. Yes.
He moved down with us. He was with us for a long period of time, in the home, independent, assisted living, nursing home, the whole process.
Right.
Many home health experiences. But my dad began to lose hope because he grieved that whole process.
Yes.
And as much as we tried to pull him out, his world got smaller and smaller.
Okay.
So that was one example. The other is that, back to the sensitivity training, we have friends and family in the LGBT community.
Okay.
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual.
Okay. Yes.
And they've told us that they're afraid to tell their physicians in 2017 about their sexual orientation because they feel like they'll be treated differently by the office staff.
Is that right?
So knowing that, what does it mean when we go into someone's home? So part of what we do is we're very proud to be the only agency in the county certified in LGBT elder sensitivity by a group called Sage Care and Compass Community Center in Lake Worth, and they're both wonderful organizations, because that opens up the minds of our staff to understand what it must be like to feel like an outsider.
Yes,
to
yes,
have lost hope in
absolutely.
the healthcare system.
Right.
And when we watch our staff react to that training, we can see that it's transformative, and it makes them better caregivers overall.
It does, because you know what it does is it makes them well-rounded. And you know, with regards to your father and other people that are going through, I was sharing with you earlier about a friend of mine who, very similar to that, he lost his wife of many years, and we watched him, and it didn't seem like we could do anything. We watched him retreat into his own little world, and there was nothing we could do to draw him out of that. So I am curious, for those people that have really isolated themselves to here, are there techniques or there tactics or is there training that you give your employees to help expand their worlds?
Yes, in the initial assessment, when our nurse goes out to talk to the family and to talk to the person that we might be taking care of, she will ask, or he will ask, what is it that you like to do? What are the kinds of hobbies that you had when you were more active? Do you like the outdoors? Do you like travel? Do you like looking at magazines? Do you like going to the movies? Do you like dining out? What are the things you like to do? And we can provide someone that will work with you to get that experience that you used to have. And sometimes that's enough.
It is enough. You know what it does too, and you know, as you're talking, I'm thinking about it, is it switches the focus, doesn't it?
Yes.
You're no longer focused on that negative. For my situation with my patients, it was a lot of times wounds. You're no longer focused on that nasty wound that is refusing to heal. You're now focused on something positive. You're focused on something that's uplifting your spirits, and I can only imagine that has a positive effect on their medical condition.
Absolutely. We believe that. We came across an article recently that spoke to loneliness and the medical impact of loneliness, and whatever. There's all sorts of unhealthy outcomes. So the goal is to not only get someone, identify what someone likes to do, but get the right fit, get the right personality.
Right.
Because not everyone's the right fit for everybody, and then that relationship evolves to the point that someone can be drawn out and they can begin to live again, and that makes a big difference. They're not focused on the negatives, they're focused more on the things they used to like to do and the things they still can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I certainly have enjoyed talking to the both of you. You are a wealth of knowledge, and I am curious, and I would like to get actually a comment from both of you. If you say we have viewers out there right now that are watching this program, and they're wondering, should I take that step? Is there any words of advice you can give them when either they're trying to find home care for themselves or for a loved one? What tips could you give them or leave them with?
Sure. One is not to wait too late. We waited too late for my mom. We didn't see it coming.
Okay.
And being a caregiver is hard. It takes a lot. Most caregivers are caregivers. They're giving, and sometimes they give it all away.
Yes.
So one tip is to act quickly, and it doesn't have to be a 24/7 service. It can be a few hours a week, a few days a week that make a difference to allow that caregiver to breathe. That's
Right.
really important. So if you're around someone that may be struggling to keep up with the demands of their loved one, intervene as soon as you can to give them a chance to breathe again.
Okay, that's very important. How about you, Bonnie?
Well, I would say try it. A lot of people are just reluctant to allow someone else in the home, but this might be the greatest blessing that you will ever receive. We have some people now who are very close to our caregivers, and every day they look forward to seeing them. So sometimes you just don't know what you need.
It's true, and I love that, because sometimes I can only imagine, not having been through it, that as a caregiver, you almost become too close to the situation, and bringing a fresh eye in there to, like you were talking about, to bring them out of that box, so to speak, is really an important thing.
Yes.
Yes.
So for viewers out there that really want to know more about A Better Way Home Care, where would you point them?
Well, you can call me.
Yes.
And our number is 561-202-1266. And you get me directly, and I'll answer the phone. It's no one else answering the phone. This is our agency. We built it.
That is wonderful. And do you have a website as well?
Yes. It is A Better Way HC. H is in home, C is in care.net. A Better Way HC.net.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I thank you both for joining us today.